Hey, shalom from Jerusalem. It's been a while. A lot of stuff has been happening here in Israel. Uh, a lot of people have been asking me about what I think of the ceasefire, or what is the situation in Israel. That's what they're asking me. And I say that we are about, there's a possibility that there's going to be an agreement for a ceasefire, which I cringe on because uh, for several reasons. Israel hasn't been able to get rid of all the armaments, all the weapons, all the missiles, all the rockets that are hiding under the houses, the hospitals, the tunnels, the schools, people's homes. Like in Gaza, they've been building tunnels for so many years and planning a big attack on Israel, just like the one that they did back in October 7th from Gaza. They were planning to invade Israel, kill and kidnap Israelis, invading little towns around the Upper Galilee. And they weren't able to do it. And now they've been bombing, sending rockets and missiles since October 8th. October 7th was a big massacre from the south, and since October 8th, they've been launching and sending rockets and missiles for almost a year. And now that Israel has been defending themselves, they went into Gaza to fight Hezbollah, not to fight the Lebanese people, to fight Hezbollah, which is, I'll say it one time, it's a terrorist organization, a terrorist group that has been terrorizing the people, the population up in the north of Israel, and also all the way to Haifa, Tel Aviv, Nahariya, all the northern cities close to the border with Lebanon. And so the world the world never called for a ceasefire during that time. We wanted a ceasefire. Tell Hezbollah to stop the attacks. And then Israel decided to go into Lebanon to get rid of this armed group. And now that Israel's winning the war, now that Israel has advanced and gotten rid of a lot of these weapons, now the world, the EU, the United Nations, the Joe Biden administration, all over the world, they're calling for a ceasefire now that Israel's winning the war. Why didn't they call a ceasefire before that? They would have, if they would have called for a ceasefire, I'm telling you, if Hezbollah would have accepted a ceasefire, this war wouldn't have continued for such a long time. Israel's winning the war, getting rid of all the armaments all over the southern part of Lebanon. There is a resolution, a UN resolution, which was never respected by the armed group in Lebanon, which is, it was a UN resolution that said no armed group would be between the border of Israel all the way to the Litani River, which is like, I don't know, maybe, if I'm not mistaken right now, 20 to 30 kilometers into Lebanon. And the UN was placed there in order to make sure that this UN resolution would be implemented, but it was never respected. And here we are now. And so this ceasefire would mean that Israel would give in to the terrorists. And what would happen if Israel doesn't get rid of all these weapons? The armed group would arm itself again, restock, resupply, and start another war again next year, just like what we had with Gaza. For several years, we would go to war, they would call for a ceasefire, we would accept a ceasefire, the next year we had another war, then in 2 years, then in 3 years, and it just kept going on, and we don't want that. Israel doesn't want to go to war. That's not what we want here. And so here we are. I don't really like this ceasefire until Israel destroys all the weapons and until Israel is promised that this won't happen next year. But who is to tell the snake not to bite again if a snake is, that's what they do. Anyway, that's what's happening here. Ask, ask for your prayers for the hostages. Prayer for our soldiers that are inside Lebanon and in Gaza. Pray for the families that have lost, on both sides that have lost family members, and wisdom for the leaders of this nation to make the right decisions. Shalom, shalom from Jerusalem.